This is me as a high school senior in the fall of 2010. I was on the homeschool basketball team, dribbling the wrong way and warming the bench, and my secret fantasy novel was still a secret, thankfully. But excitingly, I already had 15 college credits from CLEP exams, so I was technically a college freshman. But I had an impossible dream. I wanted to finish college in less than 2 years using CLEP exams to get credit for college courses. Like you, I knew I did not want to go into student debt, but I really needed that bachelor's degree to get the kinds of jobs I wanted. But here's the problem. The first 15 credits had taken me 10 months to earn, specifically the biology CLEP exam, which I had been really worried the whole time I was studying that I was going to fail. What if all the CLEPs were going to be this difficult and take this long to study for? Would I waste time and money on failed CLEP exams? Would I have to take out student loans after all? At the rate I was going, even if I passed all my CLEP exams the first time, it was going to be 6 years before I graduated. I realized I didn't know what I was doing, so I went where we all go when we need a miracle. Google. I researched and talked to people on chat forums or advisors at colleges, and I learned exactly how to study for and pass CLEPs. I even found stories of people who had taken 2 or 3 CLEP exams in a single day, including one guy who had earned his entire degree in under a year. My mind was opened, and now that I knew what was possible, I hatched a plan to get 30 college credits in just 3 months. And based on that experience, here's how you can do it too. First, choose what credits you want to earn. I'll talk about this more in another video, but this is essentially a combination of knowing which CLEPs, DSSTs, and straighter lines your college accepts, and which ones you think you have a reasonable chance of passing. As you're choosing, keep in mind that CLEP exams range from about 3 to 12 credit hours with an average of about 4.5. This means that you're gonna need 7 to 8 exams to be able to earn 30 credits. Most college websites list which ones they accept, and even if you're nervous about a CLEP subject, you'd be surprised what you can do with the right study resources. Second, now that you've picked your target test, it's time to start week 1, assessment week. You need to take a practice test for each of the subjects that you want to test out of. I recommend Peterson's practice tests, REA practice tests, and the CLEP College Board study guide questions. My personal favorite is Peterson's practice test, and you can access all of them for about $50 a month over on their website. And I'll discuss CLEP practice exams more in a future video. For now, order your exams from highest to lowest score on a chart like this one on screen. If your score is so low that you decide you'd rather just take the college course, that's fine. Just pick another one to replace it. Third, decide how you want to take each subject. Often CLEPs, DSSTs, and StraighterLine offer options for the same courses, but there's an easy way to choose between them. If you are very confident in a subject and score well in a practice test, around 60% or higher, CLEP exams are your best option. DSST exams are like CLEPs and usually cover subjects that neither of the others cover, so that's easy because you won't have a choice. And StraighterLine is a good one if you are less confident in a subject, want to take it slow, or score really poorly on practice tests. That's because StraighterLine is a self-guided online course that usually takes 40 days to complete, but colleges tend to prefer CLEP over StraighterLine, and it's easier to apply and use CLEP credit, so take a CLEP if you can. Fourth, to keep yourself accountable and on schedule, decide when you want to start studying each subject and when you want to take the tests. I recommend scheduling your easiest CLEPs and DSSTs first, as I've done here with the ones that need shorter study times. This will give you a confidence boost and motivation. Once you score high enough on your practice tests, sign up for the exams and take them. I also recommend saving StraighterLines for later and condensing them into 1 or 2 months. StraighterLine charges a $60 course fee and a $99 per month subscription, so the quicker you can get those done, the cheaper. Finally, if it fits your learning style, allow some overlap between subjects so that you're studying 2 or 3 at a time. I like doing this because it broke up the monotony and helped me to stay motivated. Plus, if the subject materials of the different tests overlap, you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Keep in mind that most estimates for how long it takes to study for a particular CLEP exam land around 20 hours, assuming that you already know something about the subject, and that it took me as a busy high school student about 3.5 weeks to prepare for each one on average. Of course, everyone's study times will differ, and I urge you to hold your schedule loosely. If you can go faster, great, do it, but if you need more time, it's worth it to slow down and do it right the first time. Fifth, choose your study resources. Again, this is a topic for a future video, but I highly recommend the College Board CLEP Study Guide, Modern States, REA books, Peterson's practice tests, Speedy Prep, and Instant Cert. As soon as those videos are up, I'll have links to them in the description. For a study strategy, I generally recommend taking that first practice test and then jumping into the REA book. using modern states to study, doing another practice test, going over to speedy prep, and then finishing up with one final practice test. If I ever scored above a 70% on a practice exam, I felt like I was ready to go and take the test right then and there, though of course that's something you'll have to decide for yourself, and I'll talk more about that and how to make those kinds of decisions in a future video that I'll eventually link right up here. Sixth, and finally, it's time to start studying. In week 1, you can go ahead and start preparing for your first CLEP test, which should be the one that you're the most confident in. After that, start adding on other tests, finishing up with the hardest ones last, and making sure that you start any straight-line courses by week 6 or 10. Now here comes the big question you may be asking. How much is all of this going to cost me? Now, keep in mind that the average cost for 30 college credits is about $30,000. But if you follow this 3-month plan, you're gonna spend about $320 on Straight-Align, $500 on CLEP, $250 on sitting fees, about $300 in study resources, which will add up to just under $1,400. By earning 30 more credits in those 3 months, I brought my total up to 45, or about $45,000 worth of college credit. And by doing that, I proved to myself that escaping debt was possible. The average student debt in 2020 is around $40,000, which means I had already saved as much as most people are currently now in debt for. It felt like a huge success, and I hope that you're able to do the exact same thing that I've shown in this video. If you want to hear my story of how I graduated college at age 18 for under $7,500, you can check that out here. And if you have any questions, feel free to put those down below. I'll be answering a lot of them and using others to help plan and prepare for future videos. Thanks so much for watching.